What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV, back with another live stream. Big up everyone for tuning in today on this Tuesday. One day to go until Arsenal play against Liverpool, and we're really going to find out where we're at, people, when it comes to this top four race. Big game. Obviously, Manchester City were held yesterday by Crystal Palace. I think half of the fan base are panicking because they're thinking that now Liverpool are going to be even more fired up. But on the other hand, I think Arsenal should take heart from the fact, that Crystal Palace can hold Manchester City, which is they're top of the league right now. And they've kept 2 clean sheets against Manchester City this season. So we need to make sure we make life difficult for Liverpool tomorrow. That is for sure. Big up everyone for tuning in. Do you know why I got delayed, actually? I decided to put this Arsenal shirt on. And because this badge bit is like yellowy green, the green screen starts bugging out. So I've been playing with the lights and that. If I look a little bit darker than usual, apologies. But hey, we're here, people. We're live. Big up to each and every one of you on this Tuesday. We'll be doing press conference reaction. Arteta did his press conference this morning. So if you haven't had lunch today, get the syrup ready. The waffles are on the way, people. A little bit of transfer news as well. Also, as you can see by the title, there is a story going around that PSG have drawn up a shortlist of 5 managers to replace Poch. And apparently, our manager, Mikel Arteta, is on that list. Do you believe that? Or is this his agent working an absolute masterclass? We'll talk about that. Make sure you like the video, people. Let me go into, I'm going to say Joel Matip mode. Seeing as we're playing Liverpool tomorrow, and he's the slowest player I can think of in the Liverpool team, we're going to fire some shots at Liverpool, and we're going into Joel Matip mode because he's pretty slow, to be honest. Liverpool fans, I apologise, but, it's war tomorrow. That's for sure, people. No free hits. Big up Joshua, who says, best channel. Hope you're well, bro. Craig said it's another PR stunt. I think his agent's playing an absolute blinder, to be honest. Salo said, I call cap. I'm telling you. First City, now PSG. I mean, do we believe it? I don't think so, to be honest. Mr. SJE said, yes, Curtis, busy at the moment. I'll catch up with the stream later. Smash the likes. Big up, bro. Appreciate that. Large up, yes, big up South London's finest. Hope you're well, bro. And now, I was supposed to be doing a Liverpool preview right now. I messaged 2 people yesterday. I've probably left it a little bit late. And both of them got back to me and said we can do it tonight. But obviously tonight, I'm doing the Man United against Atletico watch-along. So it may be a case of if I can get one done afterwards, pre-record it and put it out maybe later tonight or first thing in the morning. So I'll keep you updated. Don't forget, if you want to join me tonight, 7:45, we'll be doing the Man United against Atletico watch-along as well. So tune in for that. And members, we're doing a member stream tomorrow at 4 o'clock. I'll put the link on the community page first thing in the morning. So if you want to come on before the game, we'll have a little chat. Get yourself on there. DKR said, big up Arsenal, big up Curtis. Liverpool fan tuning in. You'll never walk alone always, but I hope you lot finish above the scum. Keep them out of the top 4. Hey, listen, I just hope we finish in the top 4. I don't really care who finishes behind us, but I hear you. If we finish 4th, it will be at the expense of United. Respect the baby giraffe assassin, Joel Matip. Listen, I know he's actually a decent defender, but I've got to fire shots at someone, Hashim said, I'm here for the polls. Don't worry, I won't let you down. More polls than a strip club in here, people. We'll pull them out later on. Captain Sal said, the giraffe is going to make you pay. I really hope I haven't just, put myself in a bad situation and Matip ends up scoring against us tomorrow. Big up Patrick Vieira, of course. Patrick Vieira went and held Pep Guardiola's Manchester City yesterday. I mean, Manchester City drew 0-0. They dominated the game, but Pep didn't make a single substitution in the whole game. I'm sitting there thinking, you've got Sterling, you've got Gundogan, you've got Jesus on the bench, and you're not making a change. And for me, listen, they paid £100 million for Jack Grealish. I want to know when we're going to start having the conversation about Jack Grealish, because for me, that is one of the flops of the season in the Premier League. I think you could argue Grealish and Lukaku because of the price tags that were paid. Just doesn't suit that Manchester City team anytime I watch them. But Vieira, twice against Manchester City, they have kept clean sheets this season. And Arsenal, I do think, have to learn from these kind of things because, I've got some notes here. Arsenal this year against the three teams above us, Manchester City, Liverpool and Chelsea. Chelsea at home, 2-0 defeat. Man City away, 5-0. 2-1 at home, 4-0 Liverpool. You're talking about 13 goals conceded and 1 goal scored, yet a team like Palace can keep 2 clean sheets against Manchester City. And make no mistake about it, they could have won that game. They had chances. Someone saying their Grealish played well yesterday. He played all right, to be fair, but overall, let's be honest, McLovin, for 100 million, has Grealish upgraded Manchester City? I don't think he has. I don't think he's better than Sterling. I don't think he's better than Mahrez. When you spend 100 million, I think you would expect to see an upgrade on the current quality that you've got, and I don't think he's better than either one of those wingers. Big up penalty spot. He said, big up Curtis. This game will be a good test of where Arsenal are right now and how far we've progressed this season. And you're right. We need to prove that we can go and beat one of these teams above us. Even a draw. I'm not being... Listen, if you offered me a draw right now against Liverpool, 1-1, 2-2, I'll take that all day long. And then hopefully we go and beat Villa at the weekend. We've got to stand up and be counted tomorrow. We really do. Tyreek Mitchell was sick. You know what? When we were looking at Tavares, I was hoping we went for Tyreek Mitchell because I think he had a year left on his deal, but he signed a new deal. PG said, disagree. He's okay, plus needs more game time. 18 appearances this season for Jack Grealish in the league, 2 goals. I get your point, but listen, not an upgrade on Raheem Sterling or Mahrez for me. Zach said, bring Vieira or Ten Hag. If Arteta goes, I don't think Arteta will go. McLovin said, first season tax. I remember hearing if Mahrez was an upgrade to Sané and Sterling. Look now, I agree, he hasn't been shining as you expect. I get you. Listen, Man City are fortunate that the pressure isn't the same on Jack Grealish to hit the ground running. Vernon said we go 3-point collecting. We're going to talk about it. Big up all of the C unit. Big up all of you for tuning in. Absolute legends, every single one of you. And listen, let's get into the news stories of the day. The polls will be out soon. We'll get some polls up and things like that. I'm going to start with the first story before we get into the Arteta one. I was listening to Neil Warnock on TalkSport, and he was talking about Arsenal. And they were talking about Nicolas Pepe. And Warnock was saying that the biggest mistake that Arsenal have made in the last few years is not bringing Wilfried Zaha to the club when they had the chance to sign him. Now, I know it's a story that's been spoken about before, but I just wanted to kind of get your feelings quickly on looking back at that. Did we make a mistake? At the time, I'll be honest, I always said that I felt we should have signed Zaha. He hasn't really gone on to that next level. I heard Simon Jordan saying that he thinks Zaha could have been one of the best wingers in the Premier League, but he needed to go back to that higher level, Champions League. Arsenal, make no mistake about it, Arsenal only did this deal because of the way the transfer was structured. Now, I've told you before, people, I had a little bit of inside scoop on the Wilfried Zaha side of things, as a good friend of mine was a teammate of his at the time, Yannick Bolasie. And Zaha was desperate to come to Arsenal. The deal was there to be done. Emery wanted him. But the club didn't want to do it because they wanted the whole 70 million, pretty much all of it up front. We obviously got Pepe with an initial £15 million up front. But has that deal actually become more expensive for us in the sense that we've paid £72 million for a player that I believe, number one, Mikel Arteta doesn't trust him. And number two, if you were to sell him, I don't think you'd even get 30 million for Nicolas Pepe at this stage because of his wage and what club I think would come in for him. So let me know. I can see mixed comments in the chat. Buenos Aires Guna said, bless up Curtis, bro. From a selfish standpoint, This time better suits me. It's close to my lunch break. Hope you're well. Hey, I appreciate the fact you can tune in, man. Klarna settings as always for Arsenal. I'm telling you. It was a Klarna business. Listen, I'm not saying for a second, be kind, that we should go and get him now. I'm not. What I'm saying is you have to question, why did Arsenal do that deal at the time? And listen, so they say sometimes you buy cheap, you buy twice. Now, we didn't exactly buy cheap with Pepe, but it was the structure of the deal. Zaha didn't set the world alight at Man United. He's had his big club chance. Listen, for me, penalty spot, I just think he wasn't ready. I think people have to understand, Alex Ferguson signed Zaha at Manchester United. Within a year, he was playing for David Moyes, and we all know, we've heard certain stories, allegedly, what was going off at Manchester United at the time. If you sign for Alex Ferguson the next minute you're playing for Moyes, I think that club and that move looks a lot different. But for me, I think Arsenal made a mistake. I know, listen, Zaha probably wouldn't suit the way we play now as much. But at that time under Emery, I think he would have suited us because Lacazette and Aubameyang were firing at the time. So yeah, just a quick one. Listen, we'll move on. I know it's history, and I'm not gonna go on about it too much. I just thought it was interesting, and I wondered if you felt we'd made a mistake by signing Nicolas Pepe ahead of Wilfried Zaha. Do you know what? I sit here at this time and I never know what to kind of think about Pepe. I'm like Jekyll and Hyde when it comes to Pepe. Half of me thinks there is a match winner there and a potential world beater of a player. But then the other half of me thinks, this guy ain't it. For 72 million, it's just not going to happen for him at Arsenal. And I'm kind of caught between the two with Nicolas Pepe. I definitely think we're going to have an issue with Pepe this summer. I think the club will be open to offers for him. But listen, maybe between now and the end of the season, he scores some big goals and gets us into the Champions League. We'll see. Cold said Zaha would be 30 now and getting lower. Back in the days of Dom Raul and the envelopes, I'm telling you. But an interesting one indeed. Right, let's talk about our manager, Mikel Arteta. For me, man said Big C dish track 6. Pepe got no sauce. Oh, man, Pepe. Hopefully he finishes the season well. You never know. Listen, it could be worse, people. Chelsea are not allowed any fans to go to their game against Middlesbrough this weekend. Their fans are banned. They can't sell merch. It's all going mad. I'm seeing Kai Havertz say he might have to pay for the plane tickets. It's wild what's going off at Chelsea, man. It really is, people. But hey, we've starved, that is for sure. Right, Mikel Arteta, people. I mean, according to The Sun, I apologise, by the way, this story is coming out of The Sun newspaper. I read it in another paper. It said a 5-man shortlist. They're saying a 9-man shortlist. Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta is on a 9-man PSG shortlist to become the new boss and replace Maurizio Pochettino this summer. I mean, straight away, and I hope people don't find this disrespectful towards Mikel Arteta, I don't think they want anything to do with him. That's my opinion. I could be totally wrong. I think for certain Zinedine Zidane will be the PSG manager next season, right? I think Zidane will be their manager. He has a good relationship with their chairman. He knows the club. He knows how to handle big personalities. I mean, can you imagine Mikel Arteta trying to manage Neymar? I don't know how. Look what happened with Ozil. Look what happened with Aubameyang. Neymar's ego is through the roof. I don't see that happening one bit. People saying he's probably number 9 on that list. Oh, my days. Zidane will get that job, in my opinion. I believe this is his agent spinning something to get that contract tied up quickly. Listen, when you're a football agent, the first thing you do when you want your client, whether that's a player or a manager, to get a new contract is you talk up interest from elsewhere and you try and force the hand of the club to say, wow, look, PSG want Mikel Arteta, get the contract dealt with quick. Now they were saying City at one stage were looking at him and we all kind of said, come on. King Henry, big up, he's got the list up here. Allegri, Conte, Ten Hag, Gaultier, Arteta, Simone Inzaghi, Favre and Thiago Motta. I mean, that's interesting. They haven't even put Zidane on that list. But Zidane, for me, would be the favourite. Although somebody said here, Zidane ain't going PSG as a Marseille man. He'd get death threats. Interesting. Glenn said he'd be the cone man at PSG. He'd have to fill up the water bottles for Neymar and Mbappe and all that, although Mbappe probably won't there. Man said, tech man for fool, I'm telling you, man. Zidane wants the French job after Deschamps. Possibly. Justice said, can you make a stream of your own preferred England 23 players for the World Cup? Yeah, that's something we could do. That's something. There's been some good suggestions about shows you'd like to see during the international break, so I am going to do some of them. Transmit the water bottles. Arteta would put Mbappe in the DM position. Imagine him saying to Mbappe, listen, I want you to play the way Lacazette's played for me at Arsenal, you know, and drop into midfield. Curtis, remember Cristiano from last year's Benfica preview? OGs remember him. Hey, big up, man. Can you ask him about Darwin Núñez? That's a good one. That could be a good one. And I do still speak to him. So, yeah, I could do a short video with him about that transfer video during the international break. What's transmitting French? Hey, let me know, people. But listen, for me, I think this is purely speculation and paper talk. I think his agent's playing a blinder. Kroenke will buy it anyway. He's going to give him a contract regardless. There's actually a story today, people, in the press coming out of L'Equipe saying that Messi wants to leave PSG this summer, that the fans booed him and Neymar at the weekend, and that one looks like it's gone pear-shaped, man. It looks like it's all going pear-shaped over there. People preach PR too much, but we all know 8th last season was not acceptable. 100%. It was unacceptable. And as I said, and I've said many times, Arteta survived because there was no fans in the stadium, in my opinion. If there was 60,000 at the Emirates last season and we finished 8th, and you saw that run we had in October to December, he would have been gone. Fortunately for him, he survived and he's building. So I think Arteta wants the reputation of a no-nonsense manager. He needs success to create that profile. I do wish him luck, though. If he succeeds, Arsenal succeed. And that's my exact opinion. If he does well, Arsenal do well. What I think Arteta needs to do now, we've seen the strong arm management. We've seen him kick out Aubameyang, kick out Ozil, kick out Guendouzi. So we know you've got that side to your management style. You can be strong, you can be tough. What he needs to show for me is that he can kind of resurrect a player like Pepe, who looks like he's kind of halfway out the door. I want to see Arteta put his arm around him, bring him back and turn him into a star. Or, you know, somebody. Show that other side of management. Management is not all about being strict and kicking people out all the time. I want to see that other side. I want to see your man management skills, your ability to deal with a tough character and still get the best out of him. That's what I would like to see. Transmette lo procesus. There you go, Turan. I don't know if I've just butchered that, but yeah, it sounds pretty good to me. Messi should come to the Prem. I think Messi, I don't think he wants to come to the Prem. I think he would have come and played for Pep before, if he ever was. Johnny said, Big C, do we give Martinelli number 14? For me, it depends on what striker we go and get, because although saying that, to be fair, you could give him 14 because Lacazette's number 9, and I think Lacazette will leave in the summer, and a new striker would probably want the number 9 shirt. So, yeah, why not? Why not? Let the young bucks have the big numbers, man. They're doing their thing anyway. I don't mind. They're our best players at the moment, so... Truth Seeker said, spot on, Arteta needs to be able to manage a tough character. And this is the thing. If we get Champions League next season and we're signing bigger and better players, Arteta's going to have to learn to manage maybe someone with a slightly more difficult personality or a bigger ego and a bigger temperament. So he needs to show that for me, both sides to the management. So that's what I want to see from him. Total said, Curtis, I'm not sure at all about Arteta yet. If he gets top 4, great. But that's what I expect with this squad. Do you know what? I'll be totally honest, and I've said this many times. I'm still not fully convinced by Mikel Arteta, but I am seeing improvements that I wanted to see last year, really. But we are seeing them this year. I didn't expect us to get top 4 at the start of the season, and I think it was very difficult for anybody to really expect that Arsenal team to get top four, because for me, at the start of this season, everybody would have said Man City and Liverpool for the title with Chelsea. Chelsea just won the Champions League, spent 100 million on Lukaku. Obviously, it hasn't worked for him, but we thought them three would be the title challengers. Now, Man U finished second last season. They signed Ronaldo, Sancho and Varane. I expected Man United to get top four. Even though Ollie is not a good manager, I felt individual brilliance would get him over the line. So I got to be honest, and I can't cap, I did not expect Arsenal to get top four. I know as a fan, our expectation is top four, but I didn't think we had enough quality there. I really didn't. And I think we're benefiting from other teams struggling. You know, I didn't expect Man United to be this bad, Tottenham to be this bad. They've had to sack managers. Kane didn't really get going till about 6 weeks ago. Ronaldo went about 7-8 games without scoring. And we've kept consistent. So for me, if Arteta gets us in the top four, that's when I will completely say, you know what, you have proved me wrong there completely, and I hold my hands up. But there's a long way to go. 12 games is a long time in football. I just hope he can get us there. But we should get there from this point, in my opinion. But will we? Yeah, smash the likes, people. 1,500 of you in the chat. Can we hit 1,000 likes? Brilliant support. Really appreciate your support, as always. And don't forget, we'll be doing the watch-along tonight for Man United against Atletico, 7:45. Arsenal watch-along tomorrow night, 7:30. And member stream tomorrow at 4 p.m. as well. So we're busy, people. Big up Lee Chappie. Hey, big of you to turn up, bro. He said, we didn't turn up. Prem is over, Conference League or bust. The thing is, I think, as soon as I saw the starting lineup, I thought, this should be a victory for us all day long. And you could see from the victory what Brendan Rodgers was saying. He's basically saying you're not going to get in the Europa League through the league and you're not going to get relegated. So the Premier League season for Leicester is pretty much non and void now. And if you win the Conference League, that's another trophy and that gets them back into the Europa League. And they've got a chance of winning that Conference League. So I think Brendan Rodgers probably did the right thing. You know, I love the timing of him dropping Ndidi and Tielemans, but I think he's done the right thing there. I really do. I think they haven't got the squad at the moment with the injuries to keep going on both fronts. Twerk for Work said, if Arteta makes top four, will you do a stream and call it Humble Pie? Yeah, I told you, I'm more than happy to do that. He'll get the green screen and everything. We'll have a celebration party. You know, I might pop champagne on the stream. Why not, people? But yeah, come on. You know me, people. I can hold my hands up when I get it wrong. That's something I don't find difficult. If we get top four. But like I said, long way to go, people. Long way to go. Just a quick thing I wanted to bring up, people, was this that I thought was interesting. Is that Arsenal have faced 121 corners this season and conceded no goals, which, I mean, that is incredible. Now, this guy here, forgive me, I forgot this guy's name. I had it written down. Where is it? Is it Nikola Jovo? He was the Manchester City set-piece coach. And for some reason, we managed to get hold of him in the summer. I don't know why he left Man City. I don't know why they let him go. He's obviously played a big role at Manchester City. Came to Arsenal this summer, and that is an unbelievable stat. And people are saying, oh, no, you've jinxed it. And to be honest, I probably shouldn't have brought this up, especially with Liverpool got Van Dijk and Matip who come up for corners. But that stat is unbelievable. 121 corners faced and no goals conceded. These are the kind of signings that make a big difference behind closed doors. You know, a coach that works on something. I remember, I know a coach who works at Liverpool with the under-23s. They've got a coach at Liverpool that works on throw-ins. He works on throw-ins. And I was like, what? Like, this guy's in every day and he's saying, this is how you do a throw-in. This is how you get more distance. This is how you should throw the ball. Like, man are getting jobs and their job is just to show you how to throw the ball. It's crazy. Those little details that gain you a little couple of percent make a huge difference. Arsenal were very slack on defensive corners, and this guy's been an absolute world beater since he came in. So, yeah, man, that's massive. It really is. Big C was the same lad who was bigging up Arteta when we signed him. Yeah, Matt said, cheers, Curtis. Jota header hat-trick incoming tomorrow. Have to start Tomiyasu v Liverpool. I mean, is he fit? We're going to get into the press conference. Back out some classic Arsenal shirts quickly for the stream. CJ said, nah, Curtis, why I mention this? Quality stats, bro, but I'm missing work to watch this game tonight. Penalty Spot said, people need to realise a lot more goes into playing the game other than just scoring goals in open play. Fair play, Arsenal coaching team. I think you can see that a lot of things have improved at Arsenal. Remember when Arsene Wenger was the manager? We used to get injuries all the time, constantly getting players injured. And you see now we look a lot more fit. A lot of players aren't getting injured now. Now, don't get me wrong, we're not in the Europa League or the Champions League. Last year, the Europa League, we played 14 games. Plus, we went out of the third round of the FA Cup this season as well. So next season, we could play 10 to 15 more games, which makes a big difference. So we'll have to see. But I thought that was a great stat to bring up. And like I said, those little details, they can make all the difference if you hire the right people. And like I said, man at Liverpool are there. Coaching how to throw the ball. I mean, the details, the amount of people that they've got coaching at these clubs now, it's unbelievable, and it makes a massive difference, people. Right, it's that time, people. It is that time. If you're peckish, you won't be peckish by time this finishes. Get the syrup ready, people. He's back. Press conference settings ahead of the game tomorrow. Arsenal against Liverpool. Mickey Ross in the building. Coleman music. He is back, people. He is back, and he's got a big smile on his waffling face at the moment. Everything is going well at Arsenal. Open for business, unlike Chelsea. Chelsea can't sell, a shirt, a key ring. They can't sell nothing. But Arsenal are flying at the moment, hopefully into the top four. Coleman music business. Press conference reaction. Let's hear what he's got to say, or read what he's got to say ahead of the game against Liverpool. It's going to be interesting. He hasn't got the big smile on his face today. For anyone that doesn't know, Jurgen Klopp did his press conference this morning, and Salah is fit and available. I think we all know it was mind games. I mean, listen, it probably wasn't mind games because he came off injured against Brighton. But apparently, it was just a knock, nothing major. Mo Salah's training today, and he'll play against Arsenal tomorrow. So there's no hiding place. Apparently, Thiago is back as well. Liverpool are going to be at full strength pretty much. There's no hiding. If we're going to beat Liverpool, we're going to have to beat full strength Liverpool. That is for damn sure. Leold said, remember Gary Payton, Big C? He was a good coach, wasn't he? Very good coach. Mo Salah running down the contract. It does sound like they're having a problem, Liverpool, with renewing his contract. That is for sure. CJ said, would you take Coutinho? I think that boat has sailed. I would have taken him a year ago, maybe. I think now Coutinho, 29, 250 a week. I like him as a player. Listen, if we'd have got him at the start of the season on loan when Villa got him or whenever, I would have taken him as an option. But I think now that would be a backward step. Right. Let's get into what he's got to say. Mikel Arteta. Mikel Arteta faced the media on Tuesday to look ahead to our Premier League match against Liverpool. And let's see what he got to say, people. Get your comments in, and hopefully he gives us some big headlines to talk about. I actually tweeted a press conference yesterday that Arsene Wenger put out, and that was just, I can't even imagine what this channel would have been like during the Arsene Wenger time, especially the times where we were struggling to win trophies. He's telling the guy in the press conference, he's like, why are you looking at me? And he's like, it's your press conference. And I was like, can you imagine me reading this transcript? I'd be on the floor with laughter, mate. I'm telling you. If you're on Twitter, go and look at that. It was brilliant. He said, on the reason behind the recent run of form, he said, we are playing better. We have an understanding of what we want. We have the right level of confidence and belief, and everything clicks better and quicker. A lot of people asking for Tomiyasu back tomorrow. And listen, I'm sure we'll find out in this press conference. But, I mean, I watched the highlights back and I remember reviewing that game. I was looking back through some of the notes, and Tomiyasu got roasted in that game. He really did. I think he'd had COVID and just come back. So maybe he wasn't 100%, but Mane was dealing with him badly in that game. So Tomiyasu back, I don't know. Listen, I'm sure we do need him back, though. I agree. I'm sorry Wenger waffled more than Arteta, but I feel like he was more entertaining with it, because it was Uncle Wenger, wasn't it? We all loved him. I remember that. Yeah, and it was. Arteta was actually sitting next to him because I think he was captain for that game. The funniest one at the end, the woman says to him, she goes, do you want to explain to the fans that you still want to win trophies and you want to win the Champions League? And Wenger's like, no, I want to lose tomorrow. I want us to get knocked out so you can all be happy in this press conference. And I was like, nah, man, if only I'd started my YouTube channel 3 years sooner, because boy, man, Wenger, he was wild. But let's go through Arteta. Anyway, he said on having games in hand, he said, you don't know how you're going to take them because you want to play the games. You want to get up to speed with other teams. It's a bit awkward sometimes when your performances can't reflect your position in the table. It is what it is. We knew that as soon as we had to replay games, and we're going to play them soon. It's interesting that the Premier League haven't even announced when we're playing Tottenham yet, or when we're playing Chelsea, which are still 2 games that are not on the fixture list. Both away games, both going to be difficult. I've got a feeling, because we're in a top 4 race, I think they're going to make us play those teams right near the end of the season to try and make it like more dramatic, Will you and Klopp be having a cup of coffee before the game? Oh, man. Well, I don't think they'll ask that question again. On the biggest difference between our last meeting with Liverpool, he said it's 5 months later. We're still going to play against... 5 months later? Oh, okay, so he's ignoring the cup games. So he just wiped them ones out of his memory, yeah? We're playing against arguably the best team or the second best team in the league, a team that is in great form. We're certainly going to have to play at our best. I mean, I believe Liverpool have won 8 games in a row in the league. So, listen, they're on fire. Neil said, Curtis, back then the journalists asked real questions. They did. You could see how vexed Arsene Wenger was when they're asking them questions. I'm thinking, you wouldn't get away with asking that question now. They'd get you banned. That'll be your last press conference. Tomorrow's game is a massive game for both of us, because at the end of the day, we're trying to, get some breathing space on the teams that we're playing and the teams that are around us. And Liverpool are trying to win the title, so it's massive. Young Nizzle said, my man deleted the horrible January from his memory. I'm telling you. Man said, we haven't played Liverpool for 5 months. He's like, bro, you played them 6 weeks ago in the Cup. No, I can't recall that. I don't remember that one at all, mate. He's thrown that one in the bin as well, so that one doesn't exist. On whether this is the best we've played since he arrived, he said, I think with the level of consistency throughout the game and throughout a run of games, I would say yes. Arteta confirms this is the best Arsenal he has had since he's been at the club. Certainly the best we've played in the league. That is for damn sure. Cup questions to coffee questions. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. It's mad. Curtis, Cedric is going to get destroyed by Diaz. I'd say bring White to right back and put Holt. Nah. You lost me there when you said put White at right back. That's where I end it. That means Rob Holding plays centre-back. That's ludicrous. And I'm not talking about the ATL rapper, but that is ludicrous. Rob Holding doesn't play unless we have to play him, and we don't have to play him. Don't mess with that centre-back pairing. If, maybe do something else. But we'll see. Let's see. Big up Dre, man. He said, well, go on, Curtis, in the community. Just got out of my meeting. What did I miss? Not too much. Bit of Arteta to PSG, which we know is cap. And a bit of Zaha and Pepe. Did we sign the wrong player? All of that. Leon said, Cedric is decent. I don't get the hate. Luda. Roll out. Top back, roll. Damn much money. Roll out. Can't stop. You get the platinum chain with them diamonds in it. Yo, old school, man. You can't beat the old school rap. I got carried away there, man. I had music flashing in my head. But, hey, let's move. On whether being in fourth changes our mentality, he said, well, it certainly puts you in a position where you're really looking forward to look up, and it gives you the belief that you can be where you can be there with the top teams in the country. But the reality is there's still a long way to go. And I hear you on that. I think there's still a long way to go. This club needs to go and spend big again this summer. Let me tell you, at least another 150 this summer, minimum. I would even say more if we get Champions League. He then goes on to say on whether this game will be will be our toughest yet in this current run. He said, I think we played against some of the top teams. We played against City not long ago, and you know the problems they put in. Every week is a test in the Prem, a very different one. The challenges you face are different. Tomorrow certainly is a team that dominates every aspect of the game. So when that happens, you have to be at your best. Serious game tomorrow. We've got to find a way to trouble them. And I think you can trouble Liverpool because they really go for you. We've got to be quick in transition when we win the ball back. Hit them on the break. The key to the game tomorrow for me is Saka and Martinelli. They are the two players that can damage Liverpool. When Trent and Robertson are pushed high, supporting them, when we win the ball back, we have got to get running. I'm talking, this needs to look like the 100-meter Olympic race. I want to see left wing, right wing, central, Lacazette, all of you, man, start sprinting and catch Liverpool out of position. That's our only hope for me of beating Liverpool tomorrow. You gotta lick them down on the counter-attack. But hey, we'll see. See, Guna said we have to go to war tomorrow. I'm telling you, I'm actually fired up for the game. I really am. Sean said you're doing a United watch along 7:45 tonight, people. United against Atletico, CR7 business. Odegaard as well. We'll see how good Odegaard is tomorrow up against Fabinho. I've said many times, Fabinho for me, you could have a debate. He's potentially the best CDM in the Premier League, in my opinion. So we'll see. I want to see him picking out passes. Penalty Spot said 200 million if we get Champions League. We need a midfielder, striker, and a backup right back. Need senior, experienced pros in the game. We do. Punch man in the face settings, as Kevin Campbell says, man. That's how we have to turn up. Let's carry on. He said, on Jurgen Klopp's job, he said, credit to Jurgen, the coaching staff and the club, what they have created. They haven't just created a team. They have created a huge cultural understanding of who Liverpool is today. The stadium, the atmosphere, the support and how they communicate. It's a lot of things, not just individuals or the players they have recruited and the plan they had to reach. It's a whole plan that I really value. I think, why did he finish it with, he gave the guy a whole paragraph of compliments and then said, I think at the end. Man said, well, I think I rate what they're doing. Listen, I've always said that I think Arsenal have to go down the route that kind of Liverpool went down. We can't go the Manchester City route. Manchester City just spent big on everything. They bought Nathan Ake for 45 million, realised 2 weeks later he wasn't good enough, and then bought Ruben Diaz for 65 million. We can't do that. We have to kind of be smart with our recruitment. Look at the way Klopp turned Mane into a world beater, turned Salah into a world beater, put Firmino up front. We got to be intelligent and find some gems as well. But listen, don't forget, people, Klopp and Arteta do have a little bit of history. I'm sure there's plenty of respect there. But I'm telling you, this is track 3 of the diss track. I respect Klopp, I think. You know what? He had a flashback at the end. He thought, you know what? I've been at Man City with Pep. I can't start bigging up Klopp too much. So he threw a little I think at the end. But listen, we need to be on smoke tomorrow. Honestly, the Emirates needs to be rocking tomorrow night because I know Liverpool are better than us. I know they're above us in the table. But we've turned the Emirates into a tougher place to come to this season. Tottenham came there, got seasoned up, put in the oven, and Nando's FC got dealt with. Now, I know Spurs aren't quite Liverpool, but we need to give Liverpool a tough time tomorrow somehow. Martinelli, run at Trent. When Trent's up there, we win the ball back, we explode. Saka, go at Robertson. He hurt Robertson in the first leg of that Carabao Cup game. He can be done. Lacazette against Van Dijk, I mean, all I can do is pray for you, Lacazette. All I can do is pray for you. But you know what? You'll probably be so deep in the midfield anyway, you won't even be playing against Van Dijk. You'll be playing against Henderson. But listen, go for him. We got nothing to lose, people, tomorrow. I want to see Arsenal try and beat Liverpool. Let's not go there and be afraid of them. Let's go there and try and beat them. I'm on smoke tomorrow, people. I'm telling you, I'm fired up. Hey, big up my bro, Kev, in the chat. Tump them up, yes? 100% no mercy. That's what we got to be on, Kev. Smack them in the face, bruv. Smack them veneers out of Klopp's mouth. Bang! You know what I mean? Smack them teeth out of his mouth. No messing about. I don't want to see all them antics from Klopp on the touchline going mad. Emirates needs to shut them down tomorrow night. But it's going to be tough. Don't get me wrong. It's going to be tough. But we have to be fired up. These players, listen, if I'm Arteta, I'm saying to the players, listen, everybody probably thinks Liverpool are going to come here and roll us over tonight. They've seen Man City draw. They know how important that game is to them. Let's turn the pressure back on them. Because don't get it twisted, Klopp's probably under more pressure for this game than we are. Because 90% of people think we're going to lose. They've just seen City drop points. They desperately have to win. If we go 1-0 up, turn up the heat on them, that's when you'll see pressure get applied. I think we've got a chance. And I don't often say this in games like this, especially the way we've performed against these teams this season. I think you saw against Manchester City at home, there was a turnaround in how we were playing against these teams. But the red card, the fact we had midfielders away, it ruined it. But I think tomorrow we can do something. But it's going to be hard. Listen, Liverpool are ferocious. We know that. Glenn said Martinelli needs to slow his game down. Said it before. The best players can play at different tempos. You can't do everything at 100 miles an hour. He looks like a greyhound coming out of the traps, at Walthamstow when he gets the ball. Slow down a little bit, bro. Don't, you know what I mean? Play at different tempos. You'll be harder to deal with. We need the general to brook the neck. Yeah, man. He needs to wrap up Fabinho and then, man, tomorrow. Granite, play the side dish role and yam up their midfield, man. I'm going in hot tomorrow. I'm going to hurt some players. Hope the ref doesn't punish me. Oh, dear. Granite Xhaka. Man said, I'm going in hot. Listen, if he don't get sent off, then he's done his job, to be fair. Pedro said, Curtly, Laka scores the winner tomorrow. Do you know what? I would love that so much. I really want Laka to score again. Because if we're going to get top 4, Laka needs to do something. Yeah, everyone bigging up Kev, man. Big up Kev. Legend. Appreciate his support as always, man. And listen, we'll have a lot to talk about. I might have to get in touch with you, Kev. I think we'll need to do another show. Maybe next week, international break. We'll have a lot of time. Arte versus Fabinho will be a great spectacle. There's some power there, let me tell you. On whether Liverpool is a blueprint for Arsenal to follow, he said it's very difficult because our histories are different. The timings of success are different, but we all want to achieve the same thing, to be the best team in this league. I feel like again he's letting off a little stray shot there at Liverpool. I know I do this in the press conference anyway, but man saying, listen, man, we're built different, man. You, man, didn't win the Prem for like 30 years, fam. You know what I mean? Man said our history is different. I know they've won Champions League, so we ain't going to talk about Europe. But I feel like he's letting off a little stray at Liverpool there again. Man said, you man ain't won. You man took 30 years to win the title, man. We're not built like you. But hey, maybe I'm just reading too much into it. He said, on the players' confidence, whether they need a similar performance to City, he said, you need that type of performance, then you need the result. The reason we didn't get that against City was because we didn't dominate in every single aspect of the game. The moment you open the door, you know you will be punished. Tomorrow we are going to have to play at least at that level or better. The difference is when you play against these teams. Yeah, I'm stirring the pot. I can't help it. I feel like this is... I don't know why. And let me know if anyone else is feeling like this. I feel like tomorrow is the biggest game of the season for Arsenal. And I know people say all the time, your next game is the biggest game. And I understand the logic behind that. But something about this game just tells me this is the biggest game of the season for Arsenal so far. I'm so fired up for it. It's unbelievable. I'm going to be going absolutely mental tomorrow. I can feel it already. I'm actually excited for the game today, and the game's not till tomorrow. It's going to be mad. I might come on stream like an hour before the game. I need all the build-up and everything. But I cannot wait for that game. I really can't. We need to put our big boy pants on, I'm telling you. Curtis is like a boxing promoter. Yeah, man, hype it up a little bit, man. Eddie Hearn settings. You've got to take your chances. The difference about the big teams and the not as good teams, when you get that opportunity, you have to punish them. Remember against Manchester City at home, at 1-1. In fact, it might have been, was that 1-0? Remember when Martinelli missed the open goal? Next minute, Xhaka gave away the penalty. They equalised, in fact, and then they scored at the end and won it. When you get a chance, it has to get taken. It really has to get taken. Leon said, I agree 100%. Curtis, Arsenal v Liverpool, biggest game of the season. Zach said, biggest game of the season. Very defining game in Arteta's career. Because I just think if we could beat Liverpool tomorrow, I would genuinely say we are getting top 4. If we can show that we can overcome that hurdle, that we can beat a team that's above us, you know? On being back on the touchline in person after missing the City game. Oh, yeah, remember that. Oh, yeah, AirPod dealt with that game, didn't he? Said, hopefully very soon they won't need anybody there. They can do it for themselves and understand and interpret everything that the game requires. But certainly I will be there with the whole coaching staff and the rest of the backroom staff. Yeah, that was interesting, wasn't it, when AirPod nearly beat Man City and people were saying because he was more calm on the touchline that it was helping. Andrew, I think you make a great point there. He said, this is an audition for the Champions League. I think that's a very good point. These are the levels, you know. These are the levels, midweek, Wednesday night. It's interesting that it is a Champions League night tomorrow. I think Chelsea play against Lille tomorrow. Maybe they've got to swim to that game. I don't know how they get in there, but maybe a rubber dinghy, you know. But yeah, I agree. Wednesday night against a top-level opposition. This is it, people. This is our audition for the Champions League. Can we handle it? You know? Let's continue anyway. He said, on whether Arsenal are one of the best teams in the country at the moment. He said, no, there are better teams in the country because that's what the league table shows. We haven't done anything. What we are doing is trying to improve, understand better what we want, being much more consistent in performance and results, but nothing else as yet. Do you know what? I'm going to give him credit. I like that response. Because I think you have to. Basically, what I'm trying to say, you shouldn't celebrate until you've won the race. And this is what I keep telling people with Arsenal. Like, people say, oh, you Arteta in now. I'm not Arteta in or out. I just want Arsenal to win. But I don't get hyped up until it's been achieved. And that, for me, is a fantastic answer. See, I do give this guy credit, you know, when he earns it. That answer is the answer I want to read. That's the winning mentality. I don't want him to come here and say, yeah, we're one of the best teams in the league. Then we finish 7th. Then we finish 6th. No, we're not. We haven't achieved nothing yet. We're doing well. Things are looking up, but we ain't won the race yet. So I respect that. Listen, one thing I'll say about Mikel Arteta, right? One thing I will say. I get the impression that you see somebody that is learning. Earlier on in his time at Arsenal, I felt he had too much to learn. You know, it's like starting to revise for an exam the night before the exam. It was too much to take in. And I think that's why we've struggled for so long. But it feels like things are starting to click now. The club seems more stable. It seems as if the players understand and can perform the way he wants them to perform. There were times before he was trying to play Manchester City football with some Middlesbrough players kind of thing. You know what I mean? Champagne football with Lambrini pocket. That don't add up. Now we got some, you know, some proper players. I'm starting to see it. So I'm giving him his props. I'm seeing it. I felt, and where my frustration was that I felt he was learning too slow. This is what my problem was. I felt, come on, Arsenal can't have 2 years of 8th place if we're the mighty Arsenal. But they've been patient. They've stuck with him. They've backed him. We've been through a lot of garbage in if we're being honest. But we are seeing positivity. We are seeing improvements. I am seeing a togetherness. I am seeing a team that looks like they can achieve something. But as I keep saying, we've got to cross that finish line. For me, things change in life and things change in football. Even though I didn't think this team was going to get top 4 at the start of the season, I think from this point now, we've got to get 4th. I think we have to. We've got games in hand. We've got a fit squad. We've got no Europe. We've got the belief. We've got to get there. Because to me, top 4 is harder to get next year than it is this season. Man United will appoint a permanent manager. They'll spend money. Conte will get money. Chelsea, Liverpool, City, they're gone clear at the moment, although Chelsea are in a bit of turmoil. I think we need to take advantage of the fact Spurs had to sack their manager. United had to sack their manager. We got to grab that opportunity while it's there, people. We really do. Kev, big up, bro. He said, Arteta knows everything must be earned. And listen, The one thing that I've always said about this guy is, wait a minute, you played for Arsene Wenger, you coached with Pep Guardiola. They're two of the best managers that we've seen. You must have learned what it takes to win. You must have seen how to win and win trophies and play good football. So this is where my frustration used to come from with him, you know. But I give him his due. They've stuck with him and we're starting to see it. I just want to see us in that Champions League. I really do. But anyway, let's get back to it. On whether he's planning any surprises tactically tomorrow night. I mean, is that not just the most stupid question you've ever heard in your life in a press conference? I mean, oh yeah, mate, I've got a big surprise. I'm going to do this and go and tell Jurgen Klopp. I mean, seriously, man. You telling me these journalists go to university for 3-4 years, get a degree, and they get in front of a Premier League manager and they ask a question like that? I mean, please, man, please. It's an absolute shambles of a question. You probably waited all week. You probably get one question and you go, oh, have you got any tactical surprises tomorrow? Oh, yeah, mate. Let me tell you all of them so you can go and tell Jurgen Klopp. I mean, it's a shambles. It's crazy. And whether he thinks it would be a failure not to finish fourth. Let me see what he says, because I've just basically said that. But he said, I cannot think like that. I think about today and tomorrow. Being in this position, what encourages me is to look up in the table and look forward, not to start looking in your mirror. I do not think that's a good sign. Listen, I understand what he's saying, but yo, sometimes you have to look in the mirror, man. I'm stuck here with the man in the mirror. Oh, dear. Mikel Jackson settings, people, although he's saying he don't want to look in the mirror. I don't know, man. Your hair's neat. You got the hair gel, you know, the Lego hairstyle. I think, you know what I mean? What's wrong with the mirror, man? Sometimes you have to look in the mirror, my guy. You know what I mean? Make sure everything's looking proper. See, I don't know. That's a difficult question for him. I suppose he can't say, well, if we don't get fourth, it's a failure. He's playing the game. For me, it is. I think a lot of the fan base would say it is. But listen, we got to focus. We got to make sure we get there. He will start to moonwalk. I'm telling you, man. Mikel Jackson, people. Mikel, ow! Come on, Arteta. Come on, mate. Get us in that top four. Turn up with them shiny, silver, glittery socks, man. I'm telling you, just start moonwalking on the touchline. Klopp won't know what's going off. I'm telling you, start doing that. Peach said, I said it before, I'll say it again. Arteta has the makings of the top coach. He's got here, the waffles, and some crazy. Yo, man. Yo, imagine, I'll tell you. He definitely wants a thriller, that's for sure. It's crazy. It's absolutely mad. But, right, let's see what he's got to say. Man said not to start looking in your mirror. I do not think that's a good sign. Wow, what an answer. On whether Chelsea are catchable and if he feels sorry for them on the football side. He said, for a lot of people that are part of that club that can suffer any consequences, obviously, yes, but I cannot judge this process or what is happening. Listen, I would say that you feel sorry for people that, the people in the background that suffer when these things happen, you know. If they have to make cuts, then people lose their job, people that have done nothing wrong. But from a footballing point of view, listen, Chelsea have enjoyed themselves for a decade and a half. If the chickens come home to roost and they have to tighten up their money for a few years, I think you've ate well enough, let's be honest. We've had crumbs at Arsenal while they've been eating, you know, the 3-course meals financially. All kinds of financial doping's been going off over there, man. They've had transfer bans and everything. But listen, obviously we don't wish any club to suffer. On Ben White, and if he thinks he becomes England's best centre-half, he said, I don't know. We are really happy with his performances, how he has adapted and what he brings to the team. Hopefully he can get rewarded because the way that he trains and looks at himself and the performances, he is certainly creating that attention. Listen, I would say with Ben White, I think Ben White deserves a call-up to the England team. The squad, should I say? I'll say England's squad for now. The difficulty you have, and why it's a little bit difficult to say this, is I think sometimes you can have a player who is not necessarily playing well for their club, but they've done well for their country. But the biggest example of that is Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire, in a back three for England with two holding midfielders in front of him, looked like a beast in the Euros. He's come back to Man United. He's in a back four. They're on the halfway line. He's getting absolutely roasted like Sunday dinner. He's all over the place. He's got no protection. There's space in behind him. He ain't got no pace. He gets done. I don't think Southgate would drop Harry Maguire for Ben White because Harry Maguire's got credit in the bank for his England performances. So I understand when Arsenal fans say Maguire should get dropped for Ben White because Ben White is playing better than him. But I just don't think Southgate would drop him for Ben White. I just don't, because he's performed for him. But one thing is for sure, Ben White should be in the England squad, over players like Connor Cody and Tyrone Mings, in my opinion. Fit said, hear what you're saying about Arteta learning. It's a long, long way from here to Arteta being on Klopp and Pep levels, as that is the level you need to win big trophies. Listen, I suppose it's one step at a time, innit? Get back in the top four, then go again. Sign the bigger players, and then we move, Smooth 1J said, Curtis, you're underrated. I'm telling you, man, listen, we're award-winning, Smooth 1J. Award-winning. We got more trophies than Harry Kane, So, underrated, overrated, as long as we're rated. That's what they say, people. He has to get in over Mings. Yeah, I don't think Mings is all that at all. I don't think Mings is all that. White is England's best centre-back. I don't know. I'm not sure if he is. There's an argument. Stone's a good centre-back as well. I don't know. Who would you say? Let's briefly have this discussion. Who is England's best centre-back? In fact, let's get the first poll of the day up. Who is England's best centre-back? I wouldn't even know who to put in this poll, by the way. Who am I going to put? Maguire, Ben White, John Stones? They haven't really got another particularly great centre-back, have we? I wouldn't put Connor Cody in there. I always thought Tomori was a good centre-back. I thought Chelsea probably made a mistake letting him go to AC Milan. But who is England's best centre-back? I suppose you've got to say John Stones. To play for Pep, win the league, and the way he plays on the ball, I think you've got to go for John Stones, really. That's probably my opinion. Let's see. Let's have a vote. Maybe Arsenal bias will win it for him. Harry Maguire. I don't think he'll win this vote. That is for sure. Some people saying Lewis Dunk. Callum Chambers. Nah, come on. Ben White. There you go. First poll of the day, people. Who is England's best centre-back? For me, I'll go John Stones. I do like Tomori. I think Chelsea made a big mistake letting him go. That was Lampard. Didn't rate him. Callum says Cody. Unpopular one, Lewis Dunk. John Stones. Stones never scored against Albania. Cody is average. I don't think Cody is all that. Tomori not even in the poll. Listen, I rate Tomori highly, but he hasn't done as much as those guys for me. Jake said, I'm voting Benjamin. England used to have quality centre-backs like Rio, Terry, Sol, Carragher. It's changed, hasn't it? Gomez, some people saying he's injury-prone, though, isn't he? I think if Gomez could have stayed fit, he'd be in that debate. Zach said Ben White is England's best centre-back. Man are saying Rob Holding. I mean, come on. Ben White. Stones is clear. Listen, for me, I would go John Stones. I've got to be honest. But there you go. First poll of the day. Press conference continues on Alexander Lacazette and whether he thinks he'll stay beyond the end of this. I swear they ask him this in every single press conference. He said, I think with Alex, it's very clear what he brings to the team. He's shown it consistently since I've been here. And what we have to resolve is the contractual timing in the best possible way. And when we all align on the same page. I get the impression, and what I've heard, and listen, I'm not no ITK, I think Arsenal will sit down at the end of the season and offer him a short-term contract. Like maybe a year with a one-year option and see if he takes it and possibly bring in a striker ahead of him. I think Laka will probably go to Lyon, personally, but we'll see. It'll be interesting. Hope they don't get caught in the emotion. Yeah, maybe I should have put Tomori in the list. He is a good defender. Martinelli's here as well now, people. Hello, Arsenal fans. They're all in here today, people. Imagine if it was actually the real ones, but hey, we would never know, would we? Tomori is a beast in Milan. I do rate him. Anyway, South London's finally said, I think he's off. Mike Bassett said, I have to say, I remember Arsenal in 2016 where Wilshere was the only player in the England squad. Now we have White, ESR, Saka and Ramsdale. Yeah, man, that's quality, innit? And at one stage, I think we only had like Danny Welbeck. So great to see 4 players if White gets in the England squad. And obviously 2 in the Brazilian squad as well. Man's asking me for tips on growing hair long. Bro, drink your water. Eat your vegetables and your fruit. I ain't got much else for you, bro. I ain't got much else. Fitz said, if Arsenal have any footballing ambition, then Laka will not be at Arsenal next season. For me, I think Arsenal have to be ruthless. And listen, it would seem ruthless if Laka kind of helps get us into the top 4 and then we get rid of him. But that's football sometimes. You have to level up. That's part of the success. Sometimes you have to let go of a player when you move up higher because the levels are higher. Eddie Nketiah's here now. He said, I will give Van Dijk nightmares tomorrow. I mean, I'm not sure about that one. On if being favourites for top 4 brings pressure, he said, well, that's the pressure of playing for this club, to be the best, and we're not there yet. If the objective is that, it's not pressure. It has to be motivation, a challenge, and a clear understanding that the purpose to play for this club is only to be the best, and what we've done so far means absolutely nothing. I think everybody has to be encouraged and empowered by the possibility to find ways to improve and to get better. I mean, he's dropping Martin Luther King's again. But I agree. Again, I agree with what he's saying. We have done nothing yet. Achieve it, and then we will celebrate it. Wow, this is a long press conference, by the way. He says, on what a win could do for our season. Winning another game in the league always gives you momentum. Being able to beat the most informed team in the country would be really, really big. So that's the aim. I mean, they've won 8 games in a row, people. They've won... They're in better form than Manchester City. I think we're the next best team in the Premier League, along with Chelsea, I believe. So, you know, go on, Arteta. Hardly any waffle today. I'm starving. I'm telling you, he ain't waffling that much. He's talking the things today. On if he's the happiest he's ever been at Arsenal, he said, especially because you guys are here. That's when it changes my life. I mean, that is one way of trying to keep the press on your side, innit? You know, he ain't doing what Wenger was doing in that press conference that I put on Twitter yesterday, where Wenger is just annihilating all of them. Man said waffle Luther King. Oh, my days. Man just bigging up the press so much. They're probably like, oh, Arteta, what a guy. We'll never ask him any difficult questions. Man loves the press. Oh, dear me. It's crazy, absolutely crazy. On if Pep Guardiola has spoken to him ahead of the game, he said, not yet, I haven't heard from him. Pep's going to make that call, man. Pep's going to say, listen, bro, I made you, yeah. You better do me a favour tomorrow night. I made you in the lab. I showed you how to pick them cones up. Now, go and do a masterclass against Liverpool, you know. Arteta sarcasm. And that's what I'm saying. I don't mind that. Give him a little sarcasm if you have to, man. Good evening, Unai Emery. Nah, Pep might be on the phone to him tonight saying, listen, you owe me a favour, bro. I hired you when no one wanted you as a coach. Now, get me 3 points. On Brendan Rodgers calling Ramsdale the best English goalkeeper, he said, well, first, thanks to Brendan for thinking that way, and I think Aaron has to take those words to give him confidence and support. I've always said he's been exceptional since the day we signed him, not only on the pitch, but there it is, people. I knew we wouldn't survive the whole press conference on what he transmitted, what he brought to the building, to the club, outside of his character and personality. That's the kind of people you want to bring to the club. Listen, he's definitely made a big difference. Oh, it's the last question, to be fair. But big up Ramsdale, man. Brendan's capping for him, innit? I bet Brendan probably had a chance to sign him or something and didn't sign him, man. He's bigging him up. On if our English core made it easier for Aaron to adapt, he said, certainly, and you can see the understanding and the chemistry that he has with some of those, the fact that they know each other for many years, that is always helpful, and that speeds up the process of any adaptation when it's always difficult at a new club, and we made it, people. We're out of there. Jeez. He said some good things in that one, though. I'm going to give him some credit. I'm going to give him some credit. He said some things that I like to hear. Let's not celebrate. Let's get there. We're doing well, but let's not start high-fiving. Yeah, let's deal with tomorrow night. Liverpool, how do we beat them? Team lineup tomorrow. I think you play exactly the same team depending on Tomiyasu. Now, they haven't even mentioned the team news in that press conference. Now, I was reading a report, and apparently Tomiyasu trained 3 times last week. But Arsenal haven't put out any training pictures today. So, I mean, I'm just searching here quickly. Tomiyasu is expected to take full part in training today. He was asked as well on Tomiyasu by the... they don't show you the whole press conference. He said, we have been trying hard to push him, but with the handbrake a little bit, because we need to be careful as we don't want him to get another injury. Let's see how he trains today. So, what do you do, people? What do you do? They clearly are still trying to wrap him up in cotton wool. They were bringing him back. He then got a setback with another calf injury. If he trains well today, do you play him tomorrow night? Bear in mind he's going to be playing against Mane or Diaz, or, you know, they may both be on the pitch. Both of them played the other day. Would you risk him, considering he's probably not 100%? Or do you play Cedric? Cedric has played pretty well, but I think everybody knows this is the next level. I think Arsenal have to look at the bigger picture and not play him, if I'm being honest. I wouldn't play him. I would want to play him because defensively we know he's better than Cedric. But if you don't believe he's 100%, I think the last game in the world that you bring him back to when he's not 100% is a game against Liverpool. Their fullbacks and wingers are ferocious. The last thing you want when you're not 100% is Luis Diaz or Mane and then probably Robertson on the overlap. I wouldn't risk him. I think Cedric's played all right. He's fit. He's in form. He's good going forward. It's sink or swim for him at the end of the day. Let me know your thoughts, people. Right, there we go. Let's end. You know what? Let's get a poll up. Let's end that one. Let's end the England centre-backs one. It looks as if John Stones, I think. John Stones, 47%. Oh, no, Ben White's nicked it. 47% Ben White, 46% John Stones, and 6% for Maguire. The Arsenal bias kicked in on the channel, people. Right, next question. If Tomiyasu isn't 100%, Tomiyasu isn't 100%, would you play him? He's not 100% clearly, is he? Because he would be saying that he's available. Tomiyasu isn't 100%. Would you start him? No, that's too long a question. Who starts right back? Who starts right back? Cedric or Tomiyasu? I've got to admit, I'm sticking with Cedric because I'm looking at it like you rush him back and he pulls that calf. You ain't seeing him for 6 weeks. And we've still got Man United. We've still got Tottenham. We've still got Chelsea. The poll is up, people. Let me know. 1.7k in here. Big up to all of you, man. Sean said Cedric's up to speed. Sometimes when a player is not fully fit, and a player is, even though that guy is better than him, he might not play as well as him because the match tempo. And you got to remember, I think Tomiyasu's been out for over a month now. Fit said, I would not risk Tommy. We've been down this road before. Look what happened. Unfortunately, we have to go Cedric. You've just got to hope, haven't you? You got to hope and pray that Cedric puts in a performance. Cedric at his best, put Tommy on the bench. Yeah, if he's fit enough, you bench him. If things got desperate, maybe you bring him in. Elliot said, scratch that, bring Tommy back after the international break. If Cedric had a decent game tomorrow, then you've got Villa at the weekend. You could actually play Cedric against Villa and then just say, listen, 2 weeks off, get yourself fit, play maybe a reserve game or whatever, and maybe he'll play for his national team and then bring him back. I just wouldn't risk him. Start Bellerin. Nah, they were some dark days, man. They were dark days. Abby said, sorry, it was late. Did we do lineups? Listen, do you know what? I haven't even done the lineups because we're basically going to play the same team. The only question was Cedric or Tomiyasu. It'll be Ramsdale in goal. It'll be Ben White and Gabriel, Kieran Tierney, Xhaka and Partey, Odegaard, Martinelli, Saka, Lacazette. Simple as that. Cedric or Tomiyasu was the only discussion point in my opinion. But like I said, for me, I would leave Cedric. Big up Fogger, hope you're well. He said, hey, love bro. Oh no, he's talking about South London's finest. Big up bro. Big up Fogger in the chat. The legend that is Cedric. I would change to 3-4-2-1. I just think, I think you've got to let Liverpool worry about us. I understand what you're saying. Sometimes you can adjust to make life difficult for them, but I think you've just got to go with what we are. We're 4-2-3-1. It's working. We're in form. We can trouble them. We showed against Manchester City that we're capable. It's just those fine margins. We know against Man City, Martinelli misses that sitter and Xhaka gives away a silly penalty. If we can clean up them errors, then we can trouble them. Make no mistake about it. Kev said Cedric and let Tomiyasu get better. And I agree. Like I said, I think if you've had bruising or, you took a kick, I think sometimes you can play on that. You wrap it up, you ice it, whatever. But because these are muscular injury problems, I just don't think you can risk it. If he was to pull his calf chasing after Mane or something, you're talking 6 to 8 weeks and you're not seeing him until the middle of May. It could almost be season over, so I just wouldn't risk it. Dre said Saka at right back. Nah, no chance. We need Saka running at Robertson, man. We should play our game, simple as that. Exactly, Inter. I mean, Inter are having a good season, but I don't think Inter Milan are world beaters. And they beat Liverpool last week, and they kind of showed. Defend well, get amongst them in midfield, hit them on the break, try and take your chances, and that's what we've got to do. I think the positive thing for Arsenal tomorrow, we'll have Smith Rowe and Pepe available to bring off the bench. That's two players that can come off the bench and change the game, get a goal, give us something a little bit different. Listen, we know Liverpool are going to be difficult. Just looking at Liverpool, I mean, they played Diaz, Salah and Mane up front against Brighton on Saturday. And Firmino and Jota was on the bench. That's the problem. They've got so much players that they can turn to. You're going to have to deal with different type of threats throughout the game. You might see off Luis Diaz and then Jota comes on, or Mane might be there. They're interchanging. It's difficult. But as I said, they've drawn 6 games in the Premier League. They've lost 2. They're not unbeatable. You've got to have that structure. As I keep saying, I think the positive thing for Arsenal is that we know at the moment what our best team is. We don't even have to have a debate about what team we're going to pick. That for me is a positive because it shows that we're playing well. We know who the goalkeeper is. We know who the back 4 is. Just depends on Tomiyasu. Midfield, front 3, it all picks itself. Smith Rowe or Martinelli? Martinelli for me. Got an assist. I thought second half he got the better of Pereira. And I think Trent, as much as I think Trent is a brilliant right back, you can get at Trent. You can get at Trent, to be honest. He will get forward. Sometimes he leaves a lot of space behind him. Nah, Salah's not out. Klopp confirmed he's training today. He's passed the fitness test, so no Salah out. So we ain't gonna get away with that one. If we're gonna beat Liverpool, we got to beat full strength Liverpool. But if I was an Arsenal player in that dressing room, I think the players should be excited for this game. I think this is a real test. Me personally as a player, and listen, I never played at these levels, but the big games were my favourite games because you knew you had a big challenge. I'd be looking at Van Dijk thinking, listen, this guy is unbelievable, but I want to find a way to get the better of him. If I'm Martinelli, I'm looking at Trent thinking, I'm ripping you apart today. Saka looking at Robertson, I'm going for you. Thomas Partey, I'm looking at Fabinho like, listen, mate, I'm cooking you today, bruv. Henderson, you ain't getting near me. You know what I mean? We got to embrace the challenge. Give me your score predictions. I know we're going to talk about it a little bit more tomorrow, but at this current moment, what are you feeling? And be honest, let's not just cap. We're not just going to say, oh, we're going to win every game. If you don't think we're going to win, then you're not. But let me know at the moment. What's your score predictions for this game? Let me end that poll, by the way. 78% of you saying play Cedric, and I agree with you. I think we have to we have to look after Tomiyasu. I'd rather he misses one game than misses 10, you know. Polymation saying 2-1 Arsenal. Mo says 2-1. Imran saying 1-0. Clean sheet would be unbelievable against their attack. Marshall saying 4-1 to Liverpool. Random saying 2-1 to Arsenal. Keith saying 2-all. Listen, I'd take a draw. I've got to be honest. Gunnar 8 saying 1-0. 2-2. 2-1. Penalty spot's going 3-1 Liverpool. Hashim saying 3-1 to Arsenal. Dennis saying 3-2. Dre saying 3-1. 1-all. I got to be honest. I think there's going to be goals in it. I'm going for a 2-2 draw. People. I think there'll be goals. Liverpool are going to come out the traps flying. You know, they know if they beat us, they're a point behind City. They're going to go mental. But at the same time, I think that can help us catch them out. I'm going for a 2-all draw, people. And I got to be honest, I would take a draw all day long. The game, it's 8:15 kickoff tomorrow. It got moved because of Champions League kickoff times. So we're a little bit later tomorrow. We kick off at 8:15 tomorrow. I'll be live from about 7:30 tomorrow, people. Desmond Tutu, man. Yeah, man. Shout out. God rest his soul. Pedro saying 2-0. Jacot, regular red card. Jacot, you have to stay on the pitch. For a lot of you, if you don't know, I did actually bet on Liverpool to win the title at the start of the season. So, you know, I'm not surprised that they've clawed their way back into the race. And I do actually think they're going to beat Man City when they play them. I've just got a feeling they're going to go there and do them. But, hey, hopefully we get the win. Andre Mariner is the ref. Everything, oh, man. Listen, whatever ref it is, it's a problem. It is actually going to feel like a Champions League night. For banter, I might turn up with a Champions League background. Wednesday night, it's Champions League night and we're playing. So, anyway, people, I am out of here. 1,800 of you in the chat. Smash that like button on the way out. Don't forget, Twitch link is in the description. We're nearly at 600 already. Content starting in the next week or so. Follow me on there. Want to get the numbers up for that. So when we go live, the majority of you are there. 7:45 tonight, I'm back. Man United against Atletico Madrid. Watch along if you want to join me for that. Tomorrow, 4 p.m. will be the members stream. 7:30 will be live. Arsenal against Liverpool. If there's enough news tomorrow, I may do the 2 p.m. show as well tomorrow. But if there isn't much, I'm not going to force it. So, listen, people, enjoy your day. Hopefully some of you join me later for the watch along. If not, I'll see you all tomorrow. Hopefully we can smack up Klopp's Liverpool, people. Looking forward to it. Enjoy your day. Bless.